Some movie scenes look good. And then there are scenes like these that feel iconic. They stay in our mind for years. We remember the visuals, the emotion, the movement, and the storytelling without needing to rewatch them. For understanding what makes a scene visually perfect, we examine films like Oldboy and 1917, especially the corridor fight scene in Oldboy and the final battlefield run from 1917. These both films and their iconic scenes are completely different in genre and tone. One is raw and violent, the other is emotional and cinematic, but both scenes share the same creative principles that make them unforgettable. Before we talk about shots or camera movement, we need to understand one thing. A scene became visually powerful only when we understood who the character is and what they are going through.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
In Oldboy, the protagonist has been imprisoned for years. He is mentally destroyed, angry and desperate. The fight is not about winning. It's about rage and survival. In 1917, the character is racing against time to save hundreds of soldiers. He is exhausted and emotionally drained. But he cannot stop. Both scenes visually express inner struggle. When the audience understands the emotional situation, visuals not just feels impressive but became meaningful. You can pick any kind of film. You notice their great scene has a point of view. Just like Oldboy, the camera never leaves the hallway. It doesn't cut or stylize the movement. This makes us feel like we are trapped inside the fight. But in 1917, the camera follows the protagonist closely and continuously. We aren't just watching him run. It feels like we are running with him. A visually perfect scene makes us experience the moment, not just observe it. These two films are carefully mastered the technique of shot design and choreography. For your consideration, shot design means planning how the audience's eyes will move inside the frame. In Oldboy, the frame is wide. The action moves left to right. Characters enter and exit like a moving painting. This makes the fight readable and controlled, even though the movement feels chaotic. Similarly, in 1917, the frame moves forward with the character. Background and foreground constantly shift. The camera reacts to the world instead of floating freely. This creates emotional urgency. Every step feels alive. Great cinematography guides attention without forcing it.
And there is no better way to tell this story than with one continuous shot.
When it comes to pacing, a perfect scene has a rhythm. Not just visual rhythm, but emotional rhythm. In 1917, the pacing is constant. There is momentum from beginning to end. The camera never stops. The scene builds energy like a rising heartbeat.
These were mainly set around the performance, so they had to be very long, simply because you didn't want to break the performance, and there was no way you could put a fake cut. The pressure built as you got towards the end of a shot.
Similarly, the corridor scene in Oldboy, the pacing slows down when characters get tired. There are pauses, moments where everyone breathes, then sudden burst of violence. This broken rhythm feels realistic. Visual rhythm affects how intense or emotional a moment feels. Environment is also a crucial part of storytelling. In Oldboy, the corridor is narrow. There is no escape. The environment creates tension because it traps the characters. In 1917, the space opens into a massive battlefield. The world feels huge, dangerous, and overwhelming. The environment reflects the scale of war. Great scenes use space as emotion, like closed space replicate claustrophobia, and wide space replicate vulnerability. Both films uses lighting perfectly as a psychology. In Oldboy, the lighting is flat and harsh. Nothing is stylized. The shadows feel dirty and real. That symbolize the world doesn't care about the main character. In 1917, the lighting feels natural and soft. It blends with smoke, fog and destruction. The environment looks cinematic but grounded at the same time. The light shapes mood before the actor even speaks. When it comes to sound and music, these two elements are remarkably special for cinema because this enhances the overall visual experience of watching a movie. In Oldboy, punches are heavy, grunts are human. There is no cinematic music telling us how to feel. Silence makes the violence uncomfortable, like this. That we call them chaotic silence. In 1917, the soundtrack slowly builds. The explosions echo across space. Sound design creates emotional pressure. Good sound doesn't just fill space, it controls tension. Both scenes choose different styles, and both work because they match the story. Oldboy feels realistic, ugly and unpolished, that reflects the character's broken humanity. 1917 feels cinematic and poetic. Even in chaos, there is visual beauty that reflects the theme of sacrifice and memory. There is no single formula for perfection. The style must watch the story. A perfect visual scene is nothing without authentic performance. In both films, actors use their bodies more than dialogue. Heavy breathing, limping, slow reactions, visible exhaustion. These physical details tells the audience everything without words. Visual storytelling is strongest when acting feels honest, because every creative decision works together. The story, character, camera, composition, movement, sound, lighting, performances, editing rhythm. Nothing feels random. Every decision supports the emotional core. A visually perfect scene isn't about being beautiful. It's about being meaningful. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis and want more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Till then, keep watching films, keep inspiring, keep learning and enjoy the greatest frames of cinematic beauty.